Good day. This is PSY 384, Study Session 3. Quantitative and Qualitative Approach to Research. Introduction. Data in behavioral science research can be classified as quantitative or qualitative. Quantitative data consists of numeric information such as frequency of occurrence of a particular behavior or scores on a psychological construct, for example, depression, aggression, IQ. For instance, we can say the rat made 10 desired responses that were reinforced within 30 minutes, or Tayo scored above the norm for our age group on aggression scale. Qualitative data, however, consist of non-numerical information such as describing a behavior or people's responses to questionnaires or interviews. This type of data may be generated by direct interactions with the participants through such means as focused group discussions, FGDs, in-depth interviews, key informant interviews, KIIS, and participatory or non-participatory observations. Objective. At the end of the lecture, you should be able to explain the main approaches to research. Pre-test. Differentiate between quantitative and qualitative research. Content. Although any research method can yield either quantitative data and quality data or both, the perception, however, exists that some research methods can provide only one form of data. Rabinowitz and Wisin, 1987. The general belief is that only experiment-based researchers are capable of providing quantitative data, while others such as case studies, observational studies, and interviews are inherently qualitative. This distinction has resulted in a status hierarchy in the sense that research that yields itself to quantitative data are generally accorded more respect and accolades than research that produces qualitative data. But recent advances in research have shown that the quantitative-qualitative distinction is more a matter of philosophy rather than one of method, and thus uncalled for, because both approaches are suited to different types of research in order to yield reliable data. A critical analysis of the different underlying philosophies shows that advocates of the quantitative and qualitative approaches are guided by the logical, positivist, and humanistic view of science, respectively. Both philosophical learnings represent different attempts at understanding human behavior using different routes to achieving that understanding. The following are some of the distinctions between quantitative and qualitative approaches to research. Bannister et al., 1994, Marikek and Kida, 1997, Stake, 1995. Quantitative research. 1. Focuses on identifying cause-effect relationships among variables. 2. The variables to be studied and methods to be used are defined in advance by theories and hypotheses derived from theories and remain unchanged throughout the study. 3. To promote objectivity, the researcher keeps a psychological and emotional distance from the research. 4. Frequently studies behavior divorced from its natural context, for example, laboratory studies. 5. Frequently studies behaviors by manipulating it. 6. Data are numerical, frequencies, means, mode, and so on. 7. tries to maximize internal validity. Qualitative research. 1. Focuses on understanding how people experience and interpret events in their lives. 2. The variables to be studied and methods to be used emerge from the researcher's experiences in the research context and are modified as the research situation changes. 3. The researcher is an inseparable part of the research process, that is, both the researcher's experience and those of the research participants constitute valuable research data. 4. Studies behavior in its natural context and studies the interrelationship of behavior and context. 5. Studies behavior as it naturally occurs. 6. Data are open-ended, include descriptions of behavior and narrative responses to interview questions. 7. Attempt to maximize ecological validity. 8. Focuses on both the similarities and differences in individual experiences and on both the similarities and differences in the ways in which people interpret their experiences. Summary. In this lecture, we have examined the differences between quantitative and qualitative research, as well as their approach to research. We have come to the end of study session 3. Thanks for listening.